What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nala Ray Show, where I am your host, Nala Ray, and this is your co-host today,
Jordan Giordano. What's up, guys?
Y'all, we're so excited to be here and talk about our stories today, where it originally happened. Like, you guys are going to get the tea straight from the Nala Ray Show, and I'm honestly so excited for this journey. I've been wanting to start a podcast for such a long time now, and you guys know me from other people's podcasts, but finally, you will hear everything front and center at the Nala Ray podcast. So, Jordan, we've been married for almost 2 years now, which is super exciting. And a lot of people don't think we're married because we didn't have like an official wedding. Jordan and I actually—
But we will. We will.
Soon to come, bro. But Jordan and I eloped actually last year during Easter. And it was like super exciting. So I want you guys to hear a little bit from Jordan's perspective on my salvation. Because you guys, I feel like you guys want to witness to everything that happened instead of it just coming from me. You actually get to hear like a firsthand story from Jordan on the events that took place as to why I got off of OnlyFans making $14 million to now being a Christian and living like a very, what would you call it? Like
a very modest and very like submissive to the Lord type of life, I guess you would say.
Pop off, king. Okay, so I love that wording. So I guess my story starts, honestly, it starts when I was a child. Like, I'm going to run through the events really quickly, just so it's not like boring to you guys. And you guys might be like, whoa, but I promise you we'll get into detail about these later on in other episodes. But I want to give you just like a full range, like story of like what happened, I guess. So anyway, when I was 8 years old, my family lost our house in a tornado, like literally lost everything. And we had to move into a hotel. And that was really tough. And then so shortly after that, my dad decided to leave our family because he got into drugs and he was like, cheating on my mom. And Jordan knows all of this, and his thoughts on my dad are, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, so this is, I want to say that.
He said this guy crazy.
So this is when we like first had like an actual phone call. And like, bro, like when I say like he was so out of pocket, and I'm not throwing shade nor gossiping, but I'm being truthful.
Yeah.
So basically like he would ask for money. And because like at the time her brother was going through a whole divorce and he needed to basically pay for lawyer bills and stuff like that. And he was in the military. So the brother was in the military, and I know the military has JAG to help deal with divorces and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So her dad was asking her for like all this money. I was like, wait, what, bro? One, it shouldn't cost that much. And two, like, bro, you have JAG. You know what I mean? So like I was kind of connecting the dots, and once she like quit OF, did all this stuff, like we started dating, I want to say like four weeks after like she quit, because I wanted to be like, all right, she's actually done with it now, you know?
Done with OnlyFans.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
but little backstory, I had been giving my dad money almost the entire time I was on OnlyFans for like 5 years. And so he was the only person in my family that stuck around. It was probably just because I was actually giving him something. So that was kind of what happened. So that's a little bit of a backstory. But the day I called my dad and told him, I was like, yo, like I'm getting off of OnlyFans. What do you think? I got saved. I met this amazing man named Jordan. Meanwhile, Jordan is literally sitting right next to me while I'm on the phone with my dad. Right next to her. Yeah. And my dad literally verbatim goes, why don't you just stay on another year and a half? Like this world is expensive. Like you don't have a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're going to need to get a job. And I was like, well, yeah, like clearly I'm not going to be on OnlyFans anymore. I'm going to have to get a job. But verbatim told me to stay on OnlyFans.
Yeah. So her dad told her to stay on OnlyFans, and like, we were like, what the heck? So the conversation ended, and like, dude, I was like heated. And
what
like,
the helly?
Like, what the helly? But like, dude, I was heated. So basically, like, I wrote this whole like, I guess
note,
like paragraph after paragraph on my notes on my phone. And when we talked to him, like the next time, I went in on him.
Yeah.
And
Jordan went as far as to, while my dad was talking, he literally muted him. Like he turned his voice all the way down on my phone so Jordan could speak. And Jordan starts off the conversation with like, You were like, I'm going to speak now and you're going to shut up and
No,
listen.
not shut up. I was like, I'm going to speak now and you're going to be quiet.
And you're going to listen.
And you're going to listen. That's what it was. I was like, I'm going to speak now and you're going to listen. And like, he was like, no. And I was just like muted, like just bro, turn it all the way down. I had no idea what he was saying. But dude, I went in on him and I was like, you're supposed to be a man of God. You were a preacher and you're telling your daughter to be on OnlyFans. And like, it was out of pocket. Like he was out of pocket.
Yeah.
But, I went in and I was like, I'm not going to ask for your hand, your
daughter's hand in marriage. Yeah.
No. I'm not going to ask for your blessing for your daughter's hand in marriage. And like, I don't know what he said, but like, whatever. And then I was like, have a good day. Goodbye. Get close with God.
Yeah, right? And then we just hung up. And that was actually the last time we talked to my dad because he went to jail shortly after, which is absolutely crazy because the turn of events that happened was like he literally, like my family found out like I was paying him money. He was on drugs, like literally crystal meth and cocaine and drinking and on steroids. Like this guy's like 50 years old, dude. Like that's insane. Almost 60. And so then my mom was like, okay, I'm done. Like you're cheating on me again. I'm going to divorce you. Meanwhile, they've already divorced when I was like 9 for like 2 years and then remarried. My dad became some kind of a pastor. It was so weird. And then anyway, fast forward to like literally last year, my dad ended up breaking into my mom's home and Jordan was like with me when I got the call and stuff. And my mom was okay, but he broke into her home with like a gun and a knife and pepper spray and literally just like 3 weeks ago got sentenced to 20 years in prison. And like I felt like my life is like a tornado at some points, like an absolute tornado,
a living
like
tornado.
EF5 tornado, bro, because it uproots stuff like so deep, like tree roots, and it's so hard to like get over. But this year has been chaotic and I like really appreciate like the audience. For those who know like what's happened this year with me, I just appreciate you guys reaching out, being so kind, being there for me, just giving like so much love. It's honestly the best. But for those of you who don't know, really quick update. So I lost my brother in July, literally on July 4th, I found out that my brother had passed away. 2 months later, like almost verbatim, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife also passed away. And it was horrific, like absolutely horrific. And then we all know Charlie Kirk passed away, which I wasn't like majorly close to Charlie Kirk. I'd met him a couple times and Jordan and I watched his videos. Jordan met him. Like that was tragic for the entire world, not just America. And then my dad gets sentenced to 20 years in prison. Like this year has been a tsunami of hurt, it feels like. Upside, we did get a new cat. Like, that's cool.
We got a new cat.
Right?
Her name is Senna.
Senna, like Senna McLaren.
Yeah, and I have a Bengal, and his name is Enzo after Enzo Ferrari. We like cars. Let's just say that.
We like cars. So we're a car family, and our cats will be too. So that is some good news. We got a cat.
Yeah.
But
does anyone want a dog?
Oh my gosh.
Too soon?
Too soon. But anyway. So my life has just been a whirlwind since the last 2 years. Like I got off of OnlyFans. I was making millions of dollars showing my body, doing porn. And like I want to talk about like the hard stuff because you guys asked. And I'm not afraid to answer your hard questions. This is a safe space. And Jordan knows everything, literally everything. And I love that. I love that about our relationship. But the one thing that you guys don't know is honestly crazy. Jordan knows this about me, but I have never shared this before, is the fact that I got an abortion. And I honestly, you guys can hate me all you want, but I am so pro-life now. I was even pro-life then, but like I was not capable of like having a child doing what I was doing. Like I am not making excuses. What I did was absolutely wrong. Hands down, there is nothing to cover that up. Like it was so wrong. And I felt that so deep inside. But the man I was with was an OnlyFans creator and he did not care about me whatsoever, cheated on me multiple times. And that's how our relationship ended. And so I never ended up telling him because I got an abortion 4 weeks into knowing I was pregnant. Like I got it done so fast. But again, this is something I've never shared with the internet, and I want to be vulnerable about it because I feel like this will reach so many girls. It will reach the girls who have felt that pain. I understand your pain. Like it is.
Because first off, I just want to say like I'm proud of you because like I actually know a couple of girls who are like really like diehard Christians now.
Yeah.
Who like in their previous life, you know, like had abortions.
Yeah.
And like it still in a way like does haunt them, and
Yeah.
they still like think about it and regret it.
does.
So like I feel like this could really help them.
I understand that. Yeah. And again, like abortion is so wrong. It just is. And I'm not even just saying that as a Christian. I knew it was wrong when I was an unbeliever. Like that's how hard it hits. So I want to be sensitive to the topic, but let the audience know if any girls out there and has had an abortion or is thinking about having an abortion, like I would highly recommend you choose life. Who knows where I would be if I would have chosen life that day and had the baby? I would have had to get off of OnlyFans, number one. So maybe God was really trying to like shake me awake and I didn't listen. I knew what I was doing was wrong and I went to go get an abortion alone. And it was the scariest thing ever. Like my experience was like I literally went to Planned Parenthood and I knew I was pregnant. Like before I went to Planned Parenthood, something in my body was just so different, off. Like I felt weird. And I was like, I bet I'm pregnant. Like I had been so careful too. And I wasn't on contraceptives or anything like that because I didn't like really believe in them. But yeah, I knew I was pregnant. I scheduled an appointment at Planned Parenthood, and the whole thing was so evil. Like walking into Planned Parenthood, it's so dark and cold. Like, and then when I was like talking to the nurses or whoever, they wouldn't even show me the screen of the baby, like the ultrasound. They wouldn't even show me. They have you lay in this dark little room. It was so creepy. And so I laid down, the monitor's right here facing the nurse. And like, I was like, can I see it? And she's like, it's probably not a good idea. And I was like, I didn't say anything at the time because I was like, maybe she's right. Like maybe if I see it, like
you keep it.
I'd want to keep it, you know? It's life inside of me. Like what an amazing gift that God gave women specifically to birth life, to birth like something with organs and skin and hair and nails and eyes and a personality and the ability to love. Like how special that gift is unbeatable. Like nobody could manufacture that on this earth. No matter how hard doctors try to make all these like wombs and stuff, like these robotic wombs, or transgender people try to surgically, create wombs inside themselves. Like you will never be a woman. A woman is so beautiful in itself. Like God created women so wonderfully and our insides are incredible, and so are men's. Like I'm just defending women right now because I'm a woman, but you can talk about men.
Yeah, guys, we're G's. We're G's. Keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, I think it's so beautiful, and so I have this deep regret inside from not keeping the child, and for some reason, the thought of it was a boy continued to come back to me, even though I had no idea what the gender was. So I really felt deep down that it was a boy. And so I never gave the child a name, and I refuse to say fetus. Like I think that word is horrific. Like it just like dehumanizes what it actually is.
Facts.
It's not a fetus. It is a living child. Like it has life. It has a soul. I know for a fact when I go to heaven, that baby will be in heaven.
Amen.
4 weeks old and everything. Like that's a child that is a living human soul. So, yeah, that's a little bit about my story. I thought I was going to cry telling it because I've cried so many times about this. But the really beautiful part is, women, if you are struggling, the Bible says to like confess your sins to a friend or a brother. The first time I did, like I had confessed my sins to Christ and asked for forgiveness, and I know I was forgiven over it, like hands down. Like, but then when I finally confessed to Jordan, like there was this weight that was lifted off of me. And what was so beautiful about the way I told Jordan last year, And Jordan looks at me, and I don't know what I think it was something on the TV we were watching or something about an abortion or something. And he looks at me and he goes, have you ever had an abortion? And I felt so deeply that Holy Spirit was giving me an opening to tell you. And immediately I go, no. But then later on, I felt like literally like an hour later, I wanted it to be like personal because our friend was over at our house right then and there.
Who?
Taylor. Taylor was at our house.
Was she?
I think so.
I don't think she was.
She was either on the phone with me.
She might have been on the phone.
Okay. But anyway, so I ended up telling Jordan, I just felt like the Holy Spirit was giving me an opening to tell you. And I did. And so the special part for me is I kept the socks from the day I had the abortion that the Planned Parenthood gave me because it's just a reminder of like that day and my child. And so it's really special. Ooh, I want to cry.
Let it out.
It's really special, honestly. But you take the mic because I'm going to sob.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of, women out there, and like, obviously I'm not a woman and I can't speak for a woman, but I get that, it can be extremely difficult because, as a kid, like I was adopted when I was 10 days old and my mom wanted to have an abortion, but she didn't, luckily. And that's how I am here today. Or my birth mom, I guess you could say. But basically, like, it kind of like makes you think, like, dang, like, what if I wasn't here?
Right.
Like, as messed up, like, as many times as I messed up in life, like, God gave me an opportunity to come back and find him. And it's just like, now, like, I was able to reach her. But what if I didn't exist? Would she still be saved?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it really just, makes you think that, like, dang, like, life is so valuable.
It is.
It's such an important thing to continuously, like, live, but also live with, like, a purpose. And it's like, what is my purpose today?
Right.
Like, how can I tell somebody about Jesus? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about the job, the car. As much as we love those things, they're still earthly things, and they're not going with us when we die. And I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. She's not guaranteed tomorrow. You aren't guaranteed tomorrow. So it's just like, what are you focusing on? Like, what has your mind constantly?
Right. The beautiful thing about like my story, I guess, with the abortion is when I became a Christian, I got in contact with Lila Rose, who is actually like the founder of Live Action. And Live Action is pro-life. And what they're doing to take steps to shut down Planned Parenthood is incredible, and educate women, and not even educate women, but they go so far in helping the woman in her needs with a child, like giving diapers or funding them, or if they need housing, like they have so many ministries who help women who want to have their child, but like feel like they can't because they don't have support. That's the biggest issue I think for women is finances and support. Like, how are you supposed to raise a child by yourself? It's so difficult. And I guess that was something that I struggled with. But Lila Rose was actually the first person who inspired me to share my story because with my abortion. And just like the absolute cold, hard truth about having an abortion and what it actually means. Yes, it's murder. It's absolute murder of a human life. That's it. That's what my abortion made me realize. I was like, I am not only a porn star, so I sell my body. I'm a prostitute, an online prostitute, but I literally murdered a life. Like, I freely, secondhand murdered a life, my own, like something that I was creating, And the fact that God's grace is so abundant that like we can't even fathom.
And like, just to go into that, like, I feel like a lot of moms or just people like who, like the women who do get pregnant, and like, if this is you and like, you're thinking like, dang, I don't have the support from my boyfriend or, my husband or whatever the situation may be, think about it this way. Like, what if that were you and I know that's kind of like a cliche thing, but like, what if you were the baby? You know, like, what would you want for you? You know, like, I mean,
Would you want a chance?
would
at
you want a
life?
chance?
Would you want to know what it's like to breathe in your lungs and play sports and know what a family is? And you know what I'm saying? And adoption is always an option. You know what I'm saying? It just is. Like, obviously it's sucky, but if you full-heartedly cannot take care of a child, there's so many resources. There's ministries, there's churches, there's like Live Action has done an incredible job of that. And just to show that, and they're not a church, they're Christian women, like, who care about life. Like, that's it. But there are so many resources. Jordan was an adopted baby, and he turned out to literally help me find Christ, who has then in turn helped so many women get off of OnlyFans and gotten saved, like, because of his choice to serve Christ. And being adopted didn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't mess him up in any way. And obviously there are some cases, I feel, that adoption isn't the absolute best because they go into foster care.
They going through the system.
Yeah, which
like
is
one
bad.
of my little sisters, she went through the system and like, dude, she's all jacked up. But I mean, I'd say like the one biggest thing on like, again, like, ladies, if you feel like you do not have the support, man, I'm talking to you now, like, be a man. You know, like, I feel like this generation is like, be alpha, make money, you know, like, don't care about anyone but yourself, you know, get women. Bro, like, be a man. Like, love. That's the first part of being a man. Love. All right, if this girl breaks your heart, doesn't mean the next one will. Don't turn like stone cold, because like, dude, I've been there. I understand it. But at the same time, being a man is standing up, not just for you, but for somebody else. Amen. You know, if you were to think about it from like a military aspect, you're supposed to protect, not run. I feel like so many people nowadays, you know, they leave. You know, like, her dad left her family
Twice.
And you know what that shows? That shows that you're a weak man. You're a weak man. You know, like, it's easy to claim the title because you were born a male, but can you actually be a man and not a boy?
That's so true. And for all the people who are like losing their identities, right? It's not even that it's lost, it's that it's forgotten, truly. Like, you forgot who you were created to be. And that's what I see in our generation today, is a lack. It's just true confusion, truly. Like, you were so confused because you felt like you lost yourself. But when do you ever find yourself? Because the suicide rates, as far as I'm concerned and have checked, are so high in those people who are transgender and gay and homosexual. Like, they're so unbelievably high because you don't know who you are. You don't need to go explore the entire world to go find yourself. That's not a thing.
I think in a way, like, finding yourself is kind of like demonic in a way.
It is.
Because like, you're already lost, but you were found by Jesus.
Right.
And it's like, when you go try to find yourself, that's just like, in quotations, I guess you could say, another reason to go hook up with somebody else, or, you know, do drugs, or just kind of like push yourself back out of reality because you're too weak.
Right. Jordan definitely says it in a much more harsher way, but it's all the more true. Like, I feel like our generation, I really do feel as though that we're searching. There's a big question mark over all of our heads as to what is this life really about? Because we've heard from the older generation, and yes, things are different and more difficult in this generation for other reasons and economical purposes and stuff, but that has nothing to do with your true identity and who God created you to be. Like, abortion, like the fact that we have aborted millions and millions and millions of babies just here in America is horrendous.
Yeah, because I remember like looking at this statistic, and like, I mean, you guys can comment on the video about what it actually is, or I might, but basically it was like, abortion is the highest death rate out of any war. I think like any war put together, abortion is the #1 killer in the world.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
And it's murder. It's murder. And one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not murder.
Yeah.
So like, I think if we're really diving deep into our roots and stuff, like, your identity is solely based from your creator, the one who created you. I'm not talking about your mom and your dad. Like that's just genes. That's a gene pool, right? And you were formed in a womb, but God says he created you in seclusion, in darkness in your mother's womb. And that's in Psalm 139, which I love. Like you are fearfully and wonderfully made, but in seclusion. God did that because he wanted to get to know you. That's where your identity was formed and its roots at the seed of it all. Like you were birthed from Christ, right? And then eventually when we go to heaven, we're called the bride. So we're growing up. And I think the biggest factor here is being faithful to who God created you to be. If you're a man, be faithful to the fact that you're a man. If you're a woman, be faithful to the fact that God created you to be a woman. There is no in between or outside of those boundaries. There's just two, right? We're not even talking genders, but there's just two, right? That's it. And so there should no longer be this like loss of who we are. Like we were created to serve Christ. God, that's it. That's literally it. And yet we have free will on top of that to literally go off the rails. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard for some people to not understand. You know, like I don't know what the agenda is, but I think media, news, social outlets have created this like lack of, what would you say? It's like a lack of knowledge, I'd say, for these people.
I'd say like, so I was talking to my buddy Ko last night, and like we were talking about just this generation in general. And like so many people are using like, especially in like school, for example, not that school really teaches you anything that you need in life for the most part, besides like like I guess the English, history, good. I mean, you should know that stuff. But like other than that, it's like, it's just, okay, it's another place to put your kid so they can get brainwashed and work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life. But people are using like for almost every single class, especially English and like history and stuff like that, they're using AI. And then obviously teachers have AI checkers, but they can take that AI like paragraph or paper that AI wrote for them and put it in a different AI to make it look like AI did not write it. And we were talking about like how this generation, like in a way, is screwed because they're not learning anything. Right. They're not pushing to like grow anywhere.
Right.
It's
there's
like,
no trades.
It's
being
more
learned.
about, there's no trades. It's more just about feelings and, well, how do you feel? You know, do you want to go to this safe space? But it's like, dude, life sucks. Life is hard. But what are you going to do when like difficulty comes? Right. Because like, I know somebody who doesn't tell their kid no. Do you want to go into that?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, so Jordan and I don't want to hit too heavily on the parenting aspect of it because we are not parents.
Not yet.
Not yet, but hopefully in the next couple of years.
But I know like what to uphold as a parent,
right,
you know?
Right.
Because like other than that, like you got like either super pampered kids or if you tell a kid no or somebody no and they're an adult and they never heard no in their entire life, dude, they're gonna freaking crash out.
That's definitely an issue for sure. But I don't think like humankind is really struggling with the fact of like saying no. I do think you're so right in the fact that feelings are all that seems to be a matter of now. Like, how do you feel about this? So I'm overstimulated, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. Like, where did we come up with these words, by the way? Like, you do not have chronic anxiety, my guy. You're freaking 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no.
How does a teenager have chronic anxiety unless so many tragic, horrific events have happened in that teenager's life for that to actually come to place? But so many times it's just because the parents don't agree with them or they're having a bad day and they're like, they call it all these things and get medication for it. I'm so abruptly concerned about this generation growing up. Like, I am so concerned, but I think that again, prayer has so much to do with it. But back to my point about being a faithful servant of Christ, like Daniel was literally in the lion's den in his 80s. Like, do you think Daniel was like, dude, God, like I've literally served my whole life for you and you're putting me in a lion's den. I'm freaking 80 years old, dude. Like, come on, bro.
Was he actually 80?
He was like in his 80s.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? We all think he was like some young guy, but he's literally in his 80s.
That's
He
nuts.
was helping the king at the time to run the nation. He had like the second highest spot to run the nations because Nebuchadnezzar was the previous king, I believe. And then Daniel came to power. But so faithfulness, Daniel's faithfulness to Christ lasted. And it's such a, honestly, it's such a call to like being faithful, but knowing that we're going to weather major storms. We just are. I have weathered in just like a year and a half so many storms. It's not even funny. But the whole time I never was like, God, why? Like, why are you doing this to me? It's not about that. If we're spending our time blaming God, man, you're on the wrong track here. Like, we live in a fractured world. God created Eden, the Garden of Eden, which was perfect. Humans came in and screwed it up.
Yep.
We screwed it up. So if you have anybody to blame us. Like, not Jordan and I, but you know what I'm saying? Blame humankind. We asked for it because it wasn't good enough. Right? And I feel like people blame Adam and Eve, but dude, if you were in that same spot and the enemy, like let's say a serpent comes up to you and tells you you're going to be like God, you're really going to tell me you're not prideful enough to say, oh no, I wouldn't have eaten it? Like they're humans just like us. And we want to blame just Adam and Eve. Like, but if any human was in that space, any one of us would have screwed it up. I guarantee. I guarantee it because we're fallible. We're absolutely fallible. We are not God.
We're not.
This is why. Satan is not God. And look at him now. He is Satan. He is no longer Lucifer. He is freaking Satan, dude. Like he messed up because he is not perfect, which is also really cool, by the way, that God even gives angels free will. Like anyone around God is free will. But what's cool about angels versus humans is the fact that angels were created externally versus humans were created internally. Like we are created in God's image. Angels are not, which is so cool. We have the ability to live on earth and then have eternal life after, whether we spend it in hell or heaven, but we have that ability because of Christ. So I'd say like, through everything, and I know we're talking about a lot of topics, but Jordan and I do this just
a lot of topics, bro. We rant.
We've been running. So I just feel like it's important to like hit on so many things, but we can definitely answer some of your questions right now. These are really good questions, honestly.
All right, so this is the first question from Mary in North Dakota, and I'm just kidding. But yeah, so
Mary?
but it's how did you get comfortable sharing the gospel?
I was never uncomfortable sharing the gospel. I thought in my mind, I was like, dude, if I was comfortable enough to take naked photos of myself and sell them online, why would I not be comfortable telling everybody in the world on my social media about Jesus? Like that's literally what I thought.
Valid. That's good. That's good.
Hands down.
All right, so this isn't a question, but I want to go off that and ask you a question.
Okay.
So when you first got saved, and like, in a way, like the whole like religious part of the Christians came against you.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever feel like uncomfortable?
Oh yeah. I felt uncomfortable because so many Christians hit me with a wave of you're fake, you're grifting, you're wrong, your theology's wrong. And I'm like, what theology am I talking about, dude? I'm literally talking about my testimony, something personal that happened to me. So I'd say it wasn't like uncomfortable. I was more confused, right? I thought this Christian community was so loving and accepting when really they're not.
Well,
the real ones are. The wrong ones aren't. And I want to be very crystal clear. I don't want you thinking that the entire Christian community is bad. They're not. There are wonderful, amazing, thousands of amazing Christians out there who would accept you in a friggin' heartbeat and love you till the day you die. Like I've met so many amazing people who have connected me to other people and given me resources, bought me books, paid for my counseling, like random people, like beautiful, beautiful human beings. But then the other side of that is just people who are fallible, people who make mistakes, people who would rather judge too quickly than just watch, right? I was so early on in my journey of being saved that people thought it was a terrible thing that I started talking about my testimony on other podcasts. They were like, oh, this is false. She's just doing this for publicity. I'm like, newsflash. I already had this major platform before I got saved. How is this a grift? Right? So it's just like, honestly, I feel like it just came down to stupidity on their part. Like, I think that they look really stupid now because, dude, I'm still going to be sitting here in like for the rest of my life. Like,
yeah, because I even
God.
tried to like wager bets with like certain people because they're like they're not going to make it a year.
Our marriage, they were literally betting that we weren't going to make it 5 years.
I'll bet $400K. We'll sign a contract right now.
But dude, nobody wanted to put money on that.
Yeah,
so.
no, if you don't think we're going to make it 10 years, bro, unless like I pass away or she passes away, that's the only reason.
And we're still going to be married even if one of us dies. Like I guarantee I will never remarry if Jordan dies. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to. He was my soulmate. That's it.
Yep.
Jordan, I'm not even trying to be weird, but dude, Jordan.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I have to. So Jordan, I think it's a joke, but I also don't know at the same time. Randomly, Jordan will look over at me.
Y'all gonna think I'm weird.
He is weird. But anyway, Jordan will randomly look over at me on the couch sometimes and he'll be like, when you die, I'm going to stuff you. Like, I'm going to literally taxidermy you.
Pause.
No, pause. You say
Pause.
that.
Okay. Let me explain though. Like, she's my best friend, and like that's my girl. But like, if it's like a weird like decrepit body, like no. But like, bro, like, or even if I can make like I don't even know, like. You guys might judge me on this, but like if I can make like an AI version of her just to like have her around, like they put her brain in the robot or whatever, and not to do anything weird, but just like, bro, that's my best friend. I'm still gonna like want a game, still like hang out, go for a drive,
Jordan
whatever.
Big gamers.
Yeah,
we
we're
love
big gamers.
To game we literally sit like 4 feet apart from each other in game.
Yeah,
like, we play Call of Duty.
But like that's why, because I don't want to lose my best friend.
Yeah, it's not weird. It's not like he just wants to stare at me and take me places as like a weird dead body.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have like a blow up doll with me. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like, bro, like if I could put you or like make my own AI like program of you,
a
bro.
Robot? Yeah, I'll talk to you forever.
A robot Nala, bro.
A robot Nala.
Coming soon near you. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
Who knows, bro, honestly.
No.
But yeah, that's a little funny insight. But I want to ask you the same question. So did it ever make you uncomfortable when the hate was coming at?
I would say 100% yes, because like I never really dealt with hate.
Jordan was a goody, bro.
And people were like, bro, like, how could you do that? Like, you failed, blah, all this stuff. And like, it was weird because it was always from Christians. But then like, I was really able to see the perspective on like, dang, I really need to start talking about and be more bold with my faith, because like demons are getting jumpy right now because like the fake Christians are coming out of the wormwood, you know? So it's just like, I think the biggest
it's woodwork, not wormwood.
Wormwood. I was doing freaking research on like wormwood and what it does with parasites. Anyway, that's a whole different story.
Don't ask me about it.
I mean, you can ask me about it. But basically, like, it was like, I was like, dang, like these were like the same type of Christians as I was before I was actually saved. I was calling myself a Christian, but I was having sex out of marriage,
living in sin.
Yeah, and it was just like, dude, like I get it, but at the same time, like, dude, these people need to be saved. Like, doesn't matter if you've been a 20-year philosopher, bro. If you're not like acting like Jesus, I'm not saying you are Jesus, but if you're not acting like Christ,
right?
Are you really a Christian? And it really made me look at the different type of like relationships I had around me and my friend groups, and I was just like, bro, like I need to start praying for my friends. I need to start praying for these haters, because granted, like at first, like especially when they were attacking her, it was like, bro, like that's my wife. How dare you say that to my wife? Like, dude, I started hacking people's
Jordan's like, I will cap you.
Dude, I started hacking people's IPs. I found out where the crap ton of these people live, like where they sleep, where they put their head down at night. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this information, but like, I know where you live. So now I know what address where you are, where I can pray for you. You know, like
it
Nemo
went really
at 42
deep.
Wallaby Way, Sydney. I'm praying for you. But like, but like it was like a really big part, and that's where the enemy was really coming against me, because I was like, dude, like I can't defend my wife because it's all these keyboard warriors who are living in their mom's basement, and like
or probably just sitting on the toilet, dude.
I don't know.
I swear. I feel like so many of my haters are literally sitting on the toilet.
Bro, and it's one thing I want to get on. It's like, dude, I'll have haters like comment on something or see them comment on something of hers, and I'm like, dude, why are you following us?
They'll literally
like,
follow us.
Why you follow us?
I don't have a private account either, so it's like my account's public.
Yeah.
Why are you following us and then hating on us? I was like, dude, this is the ultimate freaking simp.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop being a
here.
simp. Stop being a simp.
I hate that word though, by the way. But yeah. Next question.
All right. So next question. How have you recovered from smoking weed?
Oh, honestly, it was so randomly easy. I smoked weed for 7 years, which is crazy. That's probably why I have brain fog, bro.
She's kaputs.
Dude, kaputs. But literally, I think honestly, it was so easy to give up weed. Because I feel like God initiated it truly. Like it was a God intervention, because otherwise I don't think I would have stopped, because it was a real addiction. But like I said, I smoked every single day for 7 years, like all day long. And Jordan can testify to that, because when Jordan came to see me in California, I smoked.
Bro, when I tell you, like, so if you think about like a chain smoker, like cigarettes, like, bro, smoking like 2 packs a day, that was literally her with like blunts, bro.
Joints.
Like,
Blunts are different.
I'm not great with weed, but like, dude, joints like this big, like crystallized all over it. And she's like, not another one up. I'm like over there sitting on the couch, like, bro, what
is wrong with this girl, bro? Yeah. So honestly, I feel like, so what happened was God, like, I really do feel like God like made me sick, or let me have a sickness. And I felt like it was like the flu or something. And right during that time is when I stopped smoking weed. And it took like 2 weeks to get out of my system. And then I was completely smoke free. I didn't want to pick it up again.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, so she got sick.
I am not
right
gonna lie though.
after she
There are
crashed out on
times
me.
in life when like my brother passed away, my dad got sentenced to prison, other things where I was like, man, a good joint right now would take a lot of my pain away. But that's our flesh, right? And it's okay I think it's totally okay to talk about. I think it's healthy to be like, man, I want a joint right now, but not go get a joint. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan and I have talked about this openly, where it's like, it's a normal feeling to want to numb your pain, right? The pain hurts. Why do you want to sit in pain?
And that like that numbingness, dude, it could be with any type of addiction. It could be nicotine, because like we quit Zins, which I'm happy. We stopped vaping too, so thank you Jesus for that.
Literally.
But
That was a struggle.
it could be you going out every single weekend and going getting plastered.
It could having sex, being addicted to sex, being addicted to masturbating.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is so many addictions, and it's not even all those big things. Sometimes it's just little things. Like, have you ever watched the show like My Crazy Addiction or something, where they're like eating bricks?
I saw a dude eat a whole plane.
A what?
He ate a whole plane in a year and a half. I think it was a year and a half. A plane.
No.
Plane. This
No.
dude ate a plane,
Like
bro.
a commercial Boeing plane?
No, like a private jet plane, but still a plane. He ate a plane.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I was just talking about weird people that eat like baking soda and stuff.
Oh no,
like,
this dude ate a plane. He ate a plane.
bro, that's absolutely crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, next question.
Anyway, next question. Sorry.
We got so off.
Go look that up if you get the chance. All right.
Or don't.
So, yeah, do it. All right. So, advice for people who come from dysfunctional families.
I feel like,
Or for people. Yeah.
honestly, like that's a really hard thing to give advice on, because I feel like I'm still learning myself. Boundaries are a very important thing to set for yourself. I've been learning that. It is a very difficult thing to have to set boundaries with your own family. Like, for me, it was like, I need to step away from this group chat. Like, I can't be in it. Like, it's not helping me in any way when you guys are buzzing my phone all the time. And I don't feel like I want to be a part of this right now. I think it's very important to, if you don't want to talk to them, you don't talk to them. But like, make your intentions known. Don't just dip. Tell them. You know what I'm saying? Explain, over communicate. It's very important. I think boundaries are a really big thing. And healing, you have to heal. And that comes with setting boundaries. Because if you're constantly talking to them and they keep frustrating you, or things keep happening, you're not going to get to a place where you can actually heal. So I'd say healing is a big thing. Setting boundaries, really reaching out to God and having God fill those voids in your heart. With family, like let God be your dad, let God be your mom, let God be your sibling. You know what I'm saying? Like let God be and fill those voids in your heart that your family is not filling, because otherwise you will try to fill them with other things of this world. And that's like not good. So that's my advice.
And I'd say, like, let's say like you're younger and you're still living like with your parents. I'd say one big thing, try to find some good friends that are a good influence. But also like getting a journaling.
Journaling is great.
Journaling is good, and like you can
Good
really
advice.
write down your feelings and everything like that. And I know that sounds stupid, especially as a guy, but at the same time, like it helps you, especially like in the future, where you can reflect and be like, "Dang, I've grown a lot."
Right.
You know, in a good way. You know, like
Right.
write down goals, like do something like because what I try to do is I try to learn something new every single day, not year. Every single day, I try to learn something new. You know, whether it's my coding thing or whatever it may be. Try to learn something new and grow in a new area, because like you in a way like raise your value, not for like what other people see, but like you raise your value from who you were yesterday. So I definitely would recommend doing that. And then as an adult, bro, get plugged into a really good church.
Right.
Like having a really good church matters, because like
It does.
me and Nala used to be in this one church when we were in South Carolina. It was a good church, but like I just feel like it really lacked the Holy Spirit. And like the group that they had,
The
it
young
was
adults.
the young adults group. It was
They're like children.
yeah,
They're like
it was
people
like
in
high
school.
schoolers. Yeah.
We were like the only couple married,
and way older than
way
them.
older than them. So we weren't learning or growing with any of them. We're
Because in your friendships, I know it says it about like relationships like with your spouse, but you also need to be equally yoked in your friendships, because
Yep.
iron sharpens iron. And if you don't have that in your friendships, you're not going to go the right way, or
Right.
you're not going to like grow in any way. You might grow in a bad way rather than a good way.
or just stay stagnant. And that's also not good.
Stagnicity kills. All right. So next question. So how do you handle the noise of those who question your faith and accuse you of being fake?
So I definitely think we already touched on this topic. So now I completely dismiss it. It's just like whatever, because I feel more solidified in my relationship with God. So it's like, oh, okay, this might not be persecution, but it's crap. It's crap that I don't care about. It's crap that like they have no receipts. Like there's nothing they could say that's like, oh, she lied. Like there's nothing. I've been so open and honest with you guys from literally day one. Like there's nothing I have to hide. Like I literally have shared so much of my life on the internet. Like you guys already know. So for me, it just doesn't bug me. I think it would bug me if I was lying and I felt like the need to cover something up. But y'all know everything about me, I feel like literally, and Jordan. So honestly, it's just not a big deal anymore. Like you pray for those who hate you. That's it.
Yep. All right. So what are your thoughts on modesty?
So I have a lot of thoughts about that. And honestly, I mess up sometimes. I really do. Like just recently when I went to the live action gala, my dress didn't fit the way I needed it to fit. And I was showing some cleavage, and I did what I could to help that. I wore like an undershirt underneath a strapless dress, and it still wasn't staying up because the dress was so heavy. And so I had to take down all the content that I had made in that dress because it was a little immodest. So I mess up. I still mess up. Like it is what it is. It's a journey. And I thank God for the grace he gives me during this journey. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a beautiful thing. But also my convictions are different from you guys' convictions. Like Holy Spirit might be telling you it's okay to show some cleavage. I don't know.
I don't think you would say that.
I don't think he is. I guarantee you he's not. It's probably just your best friend Becky who's telling you it's okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Becky, but you will help.
Sorry, Becky, you will help. No. But yeah, so I think it's just important to realize that we make mistakes, and that you need to do what you can to try not to make those mistakes again. So it is what it is. But if anybody's coming down on you and being so disrespectfully harsh on you about this and telling you things like they're disappointed or you're not doing good enough, like absolutely kick them to the door, because that is not grace. That is absolutely not grace. And I think you should take what they say with a grain of salt and go to God. Just go to Christ about everything.
All right. So our next question. This is from Earl in Kentucky. All right. All money. All right. You guys would know that reference. All right. So all money from your past life. What happened to it? Just curious.
Dude,
and I know a lot of people ask this because they're like, Bro, she just,
Every
this is
time.
always what I see on like social media. Bro, she got her bag and then she became a Christian. She already got all the money. She like, you
she
know,
was too comfortable, and then she decided to transfer over to Christ. I'm like, that is so
they're like,
funny, bro.
this always happens. But like, listen. I mean, do you want to talk about it?
I don't mind talking about it if you want to. But so Jordan and I, okay, bro. So when I walked away from the industry, this is being so legit. I walked out of the industry with $400K in my bank account. So that $400K went towards $289,000 went to taxes for 2023, right? Also, during OnlyFans, I had a manager. My manager took like 45% of my earnings, and then OF takes 20% of what you make on OF. So just add that up really quickly in your head. Anyway, so I can't even.
Can't math.
So the math ain't mathin'. Anyway, so a massive percentage of what I made went towards other people. And then on top of that, I had an assistant, which I paid, and other people who I paid as well. So $400,000 walking away is a lot of money, right? But it's not a crazy ton amount when you're paying $300,000 worth of taxes, because I lived in California. Everybody knows that California tax is absolutely ridiculous, state and federal. And so yeah, that is what I paid $300,000 in taxes. And then Jordan and I started our company, Be the Change, which that's a whole nother story, which the rest of the money went into that company, buying merchandise, and buying ads and doing promotions and the car, and literally the rest of it went, and it was a massive loss. So now there's no money. I have no assets. I do not drive a Porsche anymore. We drive a Jeep. We live in a townhome. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gave up my mansion, my car. I have no more money left over from that past life, which I think was a blessing from the Lord, because I really feel like God was like, you don't need that dirty money anymore.
And it's not even that. I feel like it makes us like fully rely on him.
Yeah, it does. It's a beautiful thing to rely on Christ, because he literally promises to give you everything that you need. He's like, Nala, you don't need that. Like, you don't need that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I would love to have it in my bank account, but it's no longer there. So it is what it is. And it's a blessing to just rely on God for our food, our shelter, our clothing, and that's it. That's all we literally need. We don't need any of that rich life. We don't need anything more than what God can give us, man, because it's everything. That's all we need in this very temporary life. So.
All right. So next question. Hey, Nala, do you play video games or like anime at all?
Yes and yes. I love anime, bro. And we both play Warzone and Call of Duty. So, Jordan, you also play Battlefield, right?
Yeah, I play a little Battlefield. It's all right. I haven't played the new one yet. I've heard great things.
And he likes FIFA.
I like FIFA. A lot of people get on me like that. Like, bro, you like soccer? Yes, I love soccer.
He loves soccer.
I've been playing soccer.
He was like a soccer star.
Yeah,
so.
like ever since I was super little, along with other sports. But like football is cool. But the only reason I played football was so I could hit kids. That was it. I had a lot of anger issues. But we'll get into that another time.
But yeah, so I love anime. I just recently watched the new Demon Slayer that came out. I freaking love Demon Slayer, bro. I love it. It's amazing. I got Jordan into anime. Mm-hmm. So honestly, if I'm being so legit, my absolute dream is to be a voice actor for animes. It's my.
You want to give him a little Japanese?
Sure. こんにちは。私の名前はナラです。大丈夫ですか？僕最強だから。I would love to be a voice actor. I taught Jordan some. Can you do that? Toki Toki?
Doki Doki.
Toki Doki.
Oh, Doki Doki.
Estude. Iru Toki. Iru.
Iru Doki.
Toki.
Okay, artichoke. All right, anyway, next question. All right. What does it look like for you to walk in the Spirit?
Wow, good question. So I feel like walking in the Spirit is a lot with you being connected to God. It's so important. And this goes back to like the bearing the fruits of the Spirit. People think that, the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, long suffering. And that's great, but that you can just start taking on, like you can just start automatically loving and start being kind. You can't grasp that and like pull that fruit and stick it on yourself, right? Like you can't do that. You can act all you want, but if it's not genuine, that fruit will die immediately because it's not from the heart. So I think the best way to like walk in the spirit is meditating. And I'm not talking about like crossing your legs, like yoga meditating. Like I'm talking about sitting by yourself intimately with God and thinking of Christ things, like thinking of things of God and rather than things of this earth, sitting and meditating on God. And sometimes we just need to shut up. Like we talk so much. And I know I talk all the time.
I know. I'm always like, shh.
Like that Call of Duty thing. Shh. The ones who get it, bro.
Yeah.
But sitting by yourself, meditating on the word of God, thinking about things of God, like putting on God, let him.
The armor of God.
The armor of God. But like literally letting God just like fill you inside out, crevice to crevice, like kind of thing. And this isn't some modern day spiritual bullcrap. Like this is literally so powerful how like God just comes in your life. And once he is like rooted and grounded in your heart, you will produce that fruit. You will start walking in Christ and making those spiritual decisions.
And once you really start producing that fruit, you see like in a way, like it's almost like your eyes open because you know what it takes to produce that fruit.
Yeah.
And then you can also see yourself like producing that fruit. But at the same time, you could see other people who call themselves Christians, but don't produce fruit.
Ooh, amen. It's their fruit is manufactured.
And
it's like the fruit that you get at the grocery store that's been sprayed all over with chemicals to look better, but it's actually bad for you versus the organics. Actually, that's a really good way to put it.
And it's like, it's basically like if you were to think about whether they're pastors on social media or Christian influencers, you might see them, as that presentational fruit, but they're covered in wax and they're not really real.
Right. As soon as they get heated up by the fire, they melt. All that chemical, all that shininess, all that gloss, all that color comes right off.
And we'll get into that another time, but I do have one more question for you.
Ooh.
So you seem unbothered about your past. How do you do it?
I'm unbothered by it because it's a part of my testimony. Why would I be ashamed of something that God set me free from? Like, do I regret it? Yes. But regret is not the same thing as being unbothered by it. Like, why would I be bothered by my sinful actions when I'm a sinful human being?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's the simplest way I can put it. Like, I'm ashamed of the things I've done, but who isn't? If you're a real Christian, everyone should look at their past mistakes and be like, yeah, man, that was when I wasn't following God. That was when I wasn't walking in the kingdom of light. That was when I was sitting in the kingdom of darkness, operating out of a terrible mindset.
And then to go off of like that question is like, from my perspective, like me being unbothered, it bothered me for a while. But the biggest thing is like God kind of like put it into perspective for me. And it's like, yes, a lot of people, probably millions of people have seen her naked. But for me, like being able to see her for who she is now, being a woman of God, being changed. Because like, dude, like I have a past too. I'm not perfect. Like I had sex out of marriage many times before I was saved. But like for me, like seeing her now, it's like, dang, look how great God is. Look at what God was able to do in her life. I wanted a wife and I found one, and it was like a really cool thing just to be able to see what God can do through me when I'm obedient.
That's so good.
So.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. It's so true. I love that. So I guess this is just like an encouragement also to everyone who's watching is just be obedient to the call. You have no idea where God will take you when you're just obedient, right? Look at all the people in the Bible who were just obedient and what he did with them. One life. Like that's insane. Like, and there's nothing separating you from being like the next Moses or David or Daniel or Paul. There's nothing separating. There's absolutely nothing. Like they had a call on their life and they obeyed it. They dropped everything and they did it, right? you can be that person, and you can be like, oh, we live in a different world now. Yes, things around us have changed a little bit. Like we have social media now, but I guarantee you back then, if Paul had a cell phone, he'd be like, yo, church of Galatia, why you messing up again? Why are you literally listening to false prophets once again when I told you before, like, this, like the good news, you know what I'm saying? Like he would get on that phone, absolutely, and be calling them out instead of writing them letters from prison, bro. Like I know he would. So you can come up with all the excuses you want, but at Judgment Day, you're gonna be telling God the same thing, like, oh, but God, we live in a different generation, or prices are too high, or you know what I'm saying? Who cares? Dude, you can live the exact same kind of lifestyle as Paul did, or Daniel, or David, or you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing holding you back because God's not holding you back. He's waiting on you. He's sitting there like,
he's sitting there knocking at the door.
When's Josh going to be done, bro? And he's just sitting on the toilet scrolling for hours. Like, is he ever going to come pick up his Bible or minister to this person that I keep putting in front of him?
Oof.
Anyway, I think that's where we're going to end today, guys. Y'all, this was so fun. Like, we cried, we laughed, It was great. It was honestly great. And Jordan is amazing. He's such an amazing guy. So make sure you go follow him on his socials. What's your socials?
It's just Jordan.Giordano.
Go make sure you give him a follow because Jordan talks about the Lord so much. He's an incredible man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys, because this is our very first podcast and I would love to grow with you guys, answer your questions. Make sure you comment on this video too. We'd love to hear your input. But guys, thank you so much for being here today and just listening to us rant about some really cool stuff in our lives and pasts. And we love you and we will be back next Friday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, y'all.